Hey everyone, and welcome to AZ Math. You're watching episode number 1 of our series where we solve questions from the official digital SAT College Board Qbank. In this episode, we're diving into the first domain of the advanced math section, starting with the skill of the equivalent expressions at the easy difficulty level. So starting with this skill, I would like you to find the description of the Google Drive link to the full PDF and its answers in the description box below. So make sure to download it and get your Decimus and calculator ready. So let's get started. In this question, as you can read here, it is asking which of the following is equivalent to a given expression. So the expression is a little bit different from an equation, where an expression doesn't have an equal sign. However, an equation does. Here it is asking from you to look at this expression provided and try to simplify it as much as possible to make it equivalent to one of these answer choices that you have here. So let's get this one down here. X plus 5 plus 2x minus 3. Now, as you can see here, we have two kind of small expressions in two brackets, and we're asked to add. This is the operation we have here. So addition is a little bit of a kind operation. You don't need to worry about that a lot. And in this case, you can directly ignore the brackets and you don't have to do anything else, because here x plus 5 plus 2x minus 3. This is how you're going to do it. And in this place, this is where you need to join the like terms. What do I mean by like terms is the values that have a variable, which is x, y, z, whatever, together to be joined, and the constants here, the only numbers, together to be joined. So if we do the 2x plus the x, we have 3x, and if we do the 5 minus 3, we have a positive 2, and this actually drives us to answer choice B. Now, this question is a very easy difficulty level of the equivalent expressions scale in the domain of the advanced math. However, say that this question, you got it in domain, in module 1, and you have plenty of time to check. So what do? I would always advise you to go ahead and use Decimus, be familiar with Decimus. However, you would also have your own physical calculator. So in this case, if you look at the question, it's telling you that this is equal to one of these when x is equal to a specific number. Now this number, you can set it as whatever. Say that this x could be, for example, let x equal 2, for example. So I want you to type this on your calculator, x plus 5 plus 2x minus 3, and press the calc button. The calc button is directly under the shift button, and put 2 equal. You're gonna get 8. So in this thing, if you set x equals 2, you're gonna get 8. Now I want you to go to each of these answer choices and set x equal 2. If you go to B directly and we set calc 2, you're gonna get the 8, so it is correct. However, if you do D, for example, and you do calc 2, you're gonna get 14. So this is a way that you can double check. However, don't keep this as your first method, because it might consume a lot of time, which is not needed in such an easy question. So we're going ahead. This is again another question. However, we have a little bit of maybe like a little bit of a tricky operation here, which is the multiplication. Addition is the kind one. Multiplication, though, requires a little bit of expanding. So if you do that in here, you gotta expand the bracket. Expanding it means this 3, you're gonna multiply it once with the x and multiply it once with the 5. So 3 times x is 3x plus 3 times 5 is 15 minus 6. So when you do this, 3x plus 15 minus 6, 15 minus 6, these are the like terms here. 3x is gonna be left alone. So because the 3x, it is going to be 3x no matter, because you don't have any other like terms to join it. D is definitely wrong. 15 minus 6 is going to be positive 9. So the answer choice is C. Again, you can double check by setting x at any number and setting the same number at each of these choices and trying with your calculator. Now there's also a way that you can do this on Decimus, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep it for the end. So the answer choice here is going to be D. Moving ahead, I want you to stop the video a little bit and pause and maybe try to do it alone. Here we also have some powers going on, but that doesn't really matter. It is the same thing. You might notice that here the way of setting x as a number would consume a lot of time. That is why I always keep it as your last hope. When it comes to this one here, you would notice that we have a negative, and negative is a little bit of an evil sign. You need to treat this as if it's a number, and you need to actually expand this with all of the other ones. So we're gonna keep the first one as it is, but you need to multiply the negative with all of this because these are in the bracket. Each one of these terms is multiplied by the negative. So we know that the negative times negative is gonna be positive 3x squared, and then we have negative multiplied by the positive, it's gonna be positive 2x. Negative multiplied by the negative is gonna be positive 7. So keep it in mind, negative times negative is positive, negative times positive is negative, positive times negative is negative. So negative always wins when it is compared with anything else except its own. That's maybe something we need to know about life as well. So here we reached a point where we want to compare the like terms and join the like terms together. I can see that these are like terms because 2x squared, we have the x squared in here. This is our variable and we do have it here as well. However, don't miss put. This should also be with them. No, this is not 2x squared. Keep the powers together. So whatever the greatest power is, do it with the same power. You don't really have to mix them up. So 3 plus 2 is going to be 5x squared. So with that, I can ignore C and D. And then later on, I do also have the 7 and the negative 4. Excuse my 4, please. It is a 4. So positive 7 minus 4. Now 7 minus 4 is going to be 3. So we have a positive 3 at the end. And from here, I can directly put the number choice, answer choice A, because my 3 is positive and I already took out C and D. This is a negative here, which is wrong, and I directly can go for A. So going on, please pause the video and try to do your own. So here we have something which is a little bit working with some variables in the equation itself. It's telling you that this expression 2x squared plus 8x is equivalent, which means equal to 2x plus 7. For some constant A, what is the value of A? It is asking you what is A equal to. Now, I noticed that here we have this some sort of like a quadratic thing, right? Quadratic means an x raised to the power of 2. And here I have an x multiplied by each of these. Let me try to do that. Maybe that is gonna look a little bit like this one. So let's keep this as it is. Okay, equals to, here I have 2x squared plus 7x. Voila, voila. Actually, if you solve for A and you set x as whatever, you're gonna get it that A is gonna equal to 7. Directly, you can do this by just looking at it, because what is A? You know, these both are equivalent. And since the first one is like the first one, you know, you have the x, you can directly say that A is equal to 7. So the answer choice is D. Next question, we have this one here. Again, it's asking which of the following is equivalent to this. So we have 2x squared minus x plus 3x squared minus x. So again, here you have some expanding work to do, because when 2 is multiplied by this and 3 is multiplied by this whole bracket, that's why you cannot just say this is 2x squared minus x. No, you're multiplying the 2 with the x as well, so it needs to be 2x squared minus 2x plus 3x squared minus 3x. So in that, you need to join the like terms. So we have an x squared here and here, and we have also the 2x and the 3x together. So if we do this, we're gonna get 5x squared minus, and so here we have negative 2x minus 3x, so we have negative 5x, and that leaves us with option A. Now, if you want to check the College Board's explanation of that, you're gonna find it in the answer key here. All right, so the next question here is asking you which of the following is equivalent to this. So if you have 2x cubed plus 4, now you cannot really do anything to this one because it's already expanded. There are no like terms. You cannot go any further, but you can do that to the answer choices. So if you just look at the answer choices, you might know that if you join the 4 with the 4, you're gonna get 16, not 4. So definitely A and B are gonna be out. However, you can try out C and D. If I try C, 2x cubed plus 4, and I try expanding it this way, you're gonna have 2x power 3, and then you're gonna have 2 times 8, 2 times 4, which is gonna be 8. Now this is an 8 and this is a 4, so this is as well a wrong choice. Now you can go directly for D, which is a common sense answer, 2x power 3 plus 2. You gotta expand this, you gotta get the 2x cubed plus the 4, and D is gonna be my correct answer choice. Moving forward, we have a little bit with the A's. Don't worry about that. It just, as if it is an X or an A or B, C, D, whatever the alphabet is, doesn't matter. Expand and simplify. So we have 2a square, a plus 3, you gotta expand. So 2a squared multiplied by a. So that is gonna be 2a cubed plus, and then we have 2 times 3 is gonna be 6. So it's gonna be 6a squared. The answer choice is gonna be D. There we go. We have another one. We have 2x cubed plus 3x multiplied by the x cubed minus 2x. Now this is a little bit, it's gonna take a little bit of a time. Why? Because you are multiplying this whole bracket by this whole bracket, and therefore you cannot just ignore the brackets. You need to multiply to this first one with this, and again you need to go and multiply this with this. So it needs to be that you're multiplying each one of this bracket with each of the other one. So if you multiply 2x cubed by x cubed, you're gonna have 2x power 6. And if you look at the answer choices, this doesn't exist anywhere, only in C. However, you don't do this when you're in the exam. You can try to do your best to finish it until the end. Maybe there's something missing, maybe there's another 2x power 6 that you can cancel it or whatever. So don't do things fastly, take your time, solve it to the end. So 2x cubed multiplied by 2x, we're gonna have plus 4x power 4, because x power 3 multiplied x, it's like you're adding the powers. So when you multiply, you add the powers, and when you divide, you subtract the powers. Then you're gonna the 3x multiply this, we're gonna have 3 plus 3, sorry, this is a subtract actually, I'm sorry, because it's a negative 2x. So here you have 4x power 4 plus 3x power 4, and then you have 3x multiplied by the negative 2x, you're gonna have negative 6x squared. So both of these, we're gonna have a negative x power 4 in here, minus 6x squared, 2x power 6, and that takes us again to choice number C. All right, moving ahead, we have which expression is equivalent to this. Now here, again, this is one of the easiest things that you could ever get in the exam. So we have here an 8 plus d squared plus 3. This is just testing if you know how to join the like terms or not. Like terms here are the constants basically, because you cannot join the constants with a variable. So 8 plus 3, yeah, you don't have to use your hands in this one. If you ever think that you are not sure, go ahead and use your calculator. So 8 plus 3 is going to be 11. So we have d squared plus 11, which is choice number B. Moving forward, we have 2ab minus 3 plus 2. So 2 times ab is going to be 2ab. And then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 plus 2. Negative 6 plus 2 is going to be negative 4. So 2ab minus 4 is going to be your answer. Choice number B. Moving forward, we have this question which goes like 9x plus 6x plus 2y, 3y. Again, it is just testing if you can identify the like terms and join them together. As very obviously, these are the like terms here and these are the like terms. 9 plus 6 is going to be 15x. And then we have the 2 plus 3 is going to be 5y. So we have 15x, 5y, which takes us to choice D. Moving forward, we have which expression is equivalent to this. Now here, again, it is exactly like the other one. So you can again go ahead, expand each one of these and try to see which one takes you to here. Okay, now what you can do first is, let's try first of all the first one. So if I multiply the 16w with the 16w, what's going to happen? On your calculator, do 16 times 16, you're going to have 256. However, if you do 8 times 8, you're going to get 64 and not 256. So directly you can ignore B and C and you can go ahead and choose from either A or D. Now, which one do you think it is going to be? Since you can try to expand just for the safe, being safe, you know, 16w minus 26, and then you have 16w minus 26 again. Now, when they are equal, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this anymore. Okay, what you can do here is you can just do first time first and second time second. This is the only thing you can do. When they are like this, it is the same bracket. You're multiplying the same bracket to get again, you can directly do first time first, second time second. However, here you need to do the normal way, which is multiplying each one by the two other ones. Let's do it here. First time first, we said 256w squared because w 2w, so it's going to be w squared, and negative 26 multiplying negative 26 is going to be positive 676. Now this is a positive and this is a negative, so A is wrong. Directly that takes us to D. You can do that just to make sure of your answer. However, you don't really want to waste time on such questions, so we can go for the next one. Which of the following is again equivalent to this? Now this is directly going to be A, because if you expand 5x plus 3, 5x plus 15, you're expanding, multiplying 5 by the x and 5 by the 3, so this is directly going to be A. Again, you don't want to waste time on such questions. It's the easy difficulty, so it shouldn't take a lot of time at all. Now, which of the following expressions is equivalent to the sum of these? You want to add them together, so let's retype that. 5r2 plus 7 plus, and we have the bracket here, r squared plus 8r plus 12, whatever the variable is, doesn't mean anything to you. This is exactly like the first question. When it's addition, you can ignore these brackets and just go ahead and join the like terms together. So r power 3, I don't see any r power 3 anywhere that I can join this r power 3 with. When it's addition, you cannot, but if it's multiplication, you can. So for example, if I say r power 3 multiply r power 2, well, that's going to be r power 5. But r power 3 plus r power 2, you cannot do this operation, because when it's addition, you cannot, you don't consider these as like terms when it comes to addition. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do r power 3 plus 5r squared plus 7 plus r power 2 plus 8r plus 12. So here I can see that this doesn't have any like terms, but I can join these two. I can also join these two, and I have the 8r fixed. So let's go with the 7 plus 12. We have 19 as our constant, and I can directly go with C in this. Oh, sorry, not C. I can directly go with D in this case, because as you can see, we have 19 here. The 12 is out as our constant. You have the 8r as it is, and the 5r squared plus r squared is 6r squared, and then we have the r cubed not involved in anything, so we go with the D. And then we have the next question, which is which one is equivalent to this? You cannot go with B, you cannot go with D as well, because if you do the first expansion, 3 times 9 is 27, not 12. And if you do as well A, 27 times 12 is 324, which is not 12. So it could be A or C. Let's try C. 3 times 4 is going to be 12x plus 27, which is 3 times 9. If you do though multiply 12 by 9, you're going to get 108x plus 12. It doesn't really relate to our question at all. So the answer choice is going to be C. For our next question, we have again which expression is equivalent to this, and this is again one of the easiest thing you can ever have. It's directly going to be answer choice B, because if you cannot join these two together and get this thing, because this indicates that you multiplied or you did something that you had changed this operation to a multiplication to one thing. This is only one variable out of the two. Where did the x go? Where did the y go? You know, you cannot do anything in this case to this addition to further simplify it into something like this or something like this, or even A. So the only answer choice that works is B. If you check that here, x plus y, and you expand, you're gonna get 34x plus 34y. Now going ahead, moving forward, we have this expression. Now these are all multiplied, and this is very fun. So if you first of all multiply the 8 with the 7, you're gonna get 56, which is basically in all of the answer choices except D, so D is wrong. And now here, when you have the 56, you multiply the constants, you have the y, you have two y's, and when you multiply, we add the powers, so we have y squared. So again, C is wrong, and if you're gonna do the z with the z, you have z squared. So that's gonna leave us with answer choice A. Moving forward, which expression is equivalent to this? I can see that this is a simplified version, and I need to check out which one of these is gonna be it. Now, we're not gonna do any elimination now, because I can see that, okay, fine, the constants can work together. So let's try to look at answer A. We have 2xy, 8xy plus 7. So if I do the xy, we're gonna have the 2 times 8 first is gonna be 16 x power 2, y power 2 plus 14xy. 14xy is right, however, here I have x power 2 and this is x power 3. So answer choice A is actually wrong. Moving forward, let's go for answer choice B, for example. If I do the 2xy and then I have an 8x squared y, that sounds right to me, plus 7. So if I do the 2 and the 8, I have a 16x and x squared. So there is an x power 1 little thing up there. So x and x is going to be x. 1 plus 2 is going to be 3. And then you have the y. You have a 1 here, a small 1 here. So when you multiply y with the y, you add the powers. So it's y power 2 plus 14xy. Yay, I got it. So directly do B. You can do C and D just to check. However, it is wrong because if you multiply 14 with 2, you're gonna get 20. If you multiply 14 with 3, you're gonna get 28. If you multiply 18 with 8, you're gonna get 112, which is not 16. So it is wrong directly. With that, you guys, we are done with our first episode of solving the domain advanced math equivalent expressions easy level. In the next video, we're going to be solving the same domain of the same skill. However, we're going to have a difficulty level which is a little bit higher, which is the medium difficulty level. That is when I might let you have some ideas where you can integrate Desmos in this, where you can solve using some other methods when you get stuck on the question, because some questions would be a little bit hard, even though it's just equivalent, you know, comparing and simplifying could be a little bit tricky. See you soon and enjoy. Thank you.